Isa sa pinakamalaking ambag ng makabagong teknolohiya sa ating lipunan ay ang pagpapaganda sa pangangalaga sa ating kalusugan. Ang mga makabagong gamutan na nadadala natin hanggang sa maliliit na komunidad ay malaking tulong upang hindi sentralisado sa Maynila ang paglunas at pagdetect sa mga sakit. Ngayong araw, pag-uusapan natin ang kahalagahan ng early diagnosis kasama ang mga eksperto upang pag-usapan ang pagpapaganda ng development at deployment ng diagnostics sa Southeast Asia. Ngayong araw yan sa DOSTv Science for the People.
A rapid diagnostic test is usually, as the name suggests, a test which can be used very simply to give a result within a short period of time, usually less than about 15 minutes. And the other aspect of rapid diagnostic tests is for them to be used widely, they should also be affordable. They should be cheap enough that people can afford to use them. The whole purpose of RDTs is to make sure that when a patient is sick, that you can confirm the diagnosis. And the idea is that you don't need to take a sample and send it somewhere a long way away, wait and then get the results back, because it may be too late for that patient. You need the answer quickly. And so as these tests become better, easier to use, cheaper, their impact becomes more and more on how these important and serious infections are treated. I think patients travel to these other places for many reasons. Maybe they have complicated problems which a single country may not be able to give an answer for. Even in the UK, sometimes patients travel abroad for very specific treatments which they cannot get in the United Kingdom. So, putting aside the specialized problems, for some of the common diseases, if we can develop ways to diagnose them which are very cheap and easy to use, then I think the benefits to the people here, just like more widely in ASEAN or even in places, whether it's in Africa or in Latin America, in countries where you can't afford very expensive tests, laboratory tests, I think the impact will be very big. The most important infectious diseases that there are in the world, malaria and tuberculosis. Now, for malaria, there's been great progress in the last few years. So there are tests now that are available which can make a diagnosis with really quite good accuracy, quite quickly, and also, very importantly, quite cheaply, so that patients, or at least the healthcare providers, the funders, can afford to use these tests before the treatment is given. Now, tuberculosis is a much larger challenge, much harder to diagnose, and at the same time, because of the problem of drug resistance, we also need to know when the diagnosis is made if the infection will be able to be treated by the normal drugs, or do we have to use more powerful drugs, which are second line drugs and more expensive? Now, at the moment, there are some very good ways to diagnose tuberculosis, including to pick up some of the markers for resistance. But the problem is that these methods are expensive, and while they are good in certain environments, they're not easy to use, for example, under a tree or on a remote island. Well, I think it's very important always to remind ourselves that before you can select the right treatment for a patient, you've got to make the right diagnosis. And really that's what this whole meeting has been about. Well, one of the important goals is to bring together some of the leading thinkers and policymakers from the ASEAN region in a group so that one can discuss what the barriers are to developing and using new diagnostics. And it's wonderful that it's being hosted here in the Philippines, where the National Academy here has played such an important part in contributing to and bringing together the ASEAN countries to think very, very positively about diagnostics. The way the workshop is structured is that there will be reports coming out which will be available, or a report which will be available to be downloaded on the web wherever you are. Now, the diagnostics themselves, of course, are intended for use in remote populations in the end. That would be an ideal for some of the great needs for diagnostics that there are, not just in the Philippines, for example, but more widely in the ASEAN communities.
Question is a very famous quote that says that medicine is blind without diagnostics, and that really reminds us about the importance of this type of area in medicine. We need diagnostics to be able to identify the conditions that people have. We need those diagnostics to be made available to people at the earliest opportunity, and we need to ensure that the health system knows what to do with the result. Diagnostics can't just be about generating a result about a condition that you have. It also has to generate action by the health system so that you can get treatment and care.
Okay.
I think, technology can be about what's new in terms of equipment, what's new in terms of innovation, but it could also be about doing something in a better way. Technology doesn't have to be about a product. It can be about a better type of practice. It can be about a better way of doing things. And I think one of the key challenges in so many of our countries is to be able to ensure that we provide equitable access, particularly to people who are at the edge of our healthcare system, who don't have access to mainstream healthcare. That's a responsibility we all have to take. Whether it's us here in science, whether it's the media, whether it's academia, we all have to play a role to ensure that this technology is made available at the furthest point in our societies. And so the technology, whatever it is, has to be inclusive. It has to be available at the point of need, and it has to be available to the highest possible quality. The fact that people don't have access to the technology doesn't necessarily mean that it should be something cheaper or worse. It should be very, very good. And within saying that, the data that's generated by the tests that we perform have to be treated carefully, have to be treated securely, and have to be treated fairly. Data is the new oil in so many of our economies. Data is driving innovation, it's driving new product development. Companies are making a lot of money from it. It's all great. But what about you as the person who's given the data? Is it being protected? Are you being taken care of? Is the person who's collecting the data making sure that your identity isn't being disclosed, particularly if you've been diagnosed with a condition that's important to you and your community? So there's a huge responsibility in the discussion around data, and it's not just about the type of data that these technologies can generate, but who's the custodian for the data, and are we ensuring that our individual rights and identities are being protected? And that would be a really important part of the discussion of data from my perspective. Of the expertise that's needed to implement these tools are available both within the region and also within the country. There's some fantastic innovation and there's some fantastic scholarship and talent here in the Philippines and across the region. And I think a lot of the tools are here. It's just really about maybe bringing people together and thinking about how some of those innovative ideas can be brought to the market or brought to different stakeholders. You know, it's an interesting thing because you want to bring people in at the earliest opportunity. But the tent is only so big, and if you bring everybody in at the same time, the tent could fall over. So stakeholders should be a rolling thing. You build a momentum and you keep growing them. They may change as well. The stakeholders that we've brought in early on into our work, which is around the use of a non-invasive biosensor that could be linked to an artificial machine learning type system to augment diagnostics. So in addition to diagnostics, to check the accuracy of the diagnostics. In order to bring that capability together, we've turned to our academic communities, we've turned to our national laboratories, and we've turned to some of our design innovation experts as well, both at an academic level and at a practitioner level. We've been interested to engage, for example, some of the bigger industries like the pharma industry, like maybe technology industries. But these are very complex stakeholders, and sometimes that tent idea, you may want to choose the time when you bring those sorts of stakeholders together. So certainly working with academia for us has felt very natural, and we've been very pleased about that. We have a number of collaborations, but we started in the ASEAN region. In fact, our first country was in Cambodia, where we asked the question, could this type of technology be used by a health system? Could a Ministry of Health make sense of the data? How would it fit into their day-to-day policy work? And that work is currently being carried out in Cambodia. And we've just been talking today about the possibility of expanding some of that work into neighboring Thailand, into Myanmar, but also potentially into the Philippines. It's very practical. There's two ways of thinking about collaborations. You do it to build knowledge and scientific expert, or you do it to deliver a result practically, quickly. That's what we're doing. We're not really interested in publishing research. That's for researchers. We're interested in delivering an innovation that can have a real impact on people's life quickly. You can research it afterwards. My final message is to very much reflect on the outstanding talent and opportunity and the very open and willingness within the region for countries to collaborate with overseas institutions, with overseas companies, and to very much focus on the challenges that you faced framed in the local context, because that's meaningful for us as overseas developers, because we want to see our technology help people in your communities live better and healthier lives.
Thank you, Ms. Jel. Good morning sa iyo at good morning din po sa ating mga viewers. Sa ngayon po yung low pressure area na ating patuloy na minomonitor ay huling namataan na 370 kilometers south-southeast of Puerto Princesa City, Palawan. Base sa ating analysis ay mababa pa rin po ang tsansa na ito ay maging isang bagyo sa susunod na 24 oras. Subalit asahan pa rin po ang pag-ulan dulot ng LPA sa malaking bahagi ng ating bansa. Gayunpaman, asahan pa rin yung mga pag-ulan dito sa ilang bahagi rin po ng Mindanao at dito rin po sa Luzon dahil naman sa umiral na northeast monsoon na amihan, particularly sa northern Luzon. Meron din po tayong binabantayan na tropical depression sa malayong lugar pa sa Dagat Pasipiko. Huli itong namata na 2,715 kilometers east of Mindanao at base sa ating analysis ay posibleng pumasok ito ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility pagsapit po ng weekend, either Saturday po or Sunday at posibleng maka-apekto na as early as Monday sa malaking bahagi ng Visayas, Mindanao and Southern Luzon. Kaya't patuloy po natin itong imomonitor sa ngayon. For the next 24 hours, asahan ang maulap na kalangitan na may kasamang kalat-kalat na pagulan and thunderstorms sa lalawigan po ng Palawan, dulot yan ng low pressure area. Asahan din ang kalat-kalat na pagulan and thunderstorms, posible itong magdulot ng flooding or landslides. Dito naman po sa Batanes and Babueng Group of Islands, extreme northern Luzon, asahan ang epekto ng amihan kaya't magiging maulap na may kasamang mahihinang pagulan sa kanilang lugar. Sa natitirang bahagi ng Northern Luzon, particularly rest of Cagayan Valley, Cordillera Administrative Region at dito rin po sa Ilocos Region, maliwalas sa panahon ng mararanasan sa buong araw, posible na maging maulap kuminsan and possible din ang mga pulupulong pag-ambon. For the rest of Luzon, bilang na Metro Manila, asahan naman ang partly cloudy to cloudy skies at meron din tsansa ng mga localized thunderstorms na may dalang mga pagulan. Range of temperature natin sa Tagaytay 20 hanggang 28 degrees Celsius, sa Baguio 15 hanggang 25 degrees, for Metro Manila may kainitan po 24 hanggang 33 degrees Celsius, sa Legazpi and Tuguegarao hanggang 32 degrees Celsius at maging sa Lawag City, habang sa Puerto Princesa naman ang range of temperature is from 24 hanggang 30 degrees Celsius. Sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Visayas, asahan na ang pagulan and thunderstorms dulot ng low pressure area at yung trough po nag-extend hanggang dito sa may eastern part. Samantala sa Mindanao naman, kabilang na mga pagulan dito sa may Zamboanga Peninsula, Northern Mindanao, Caraga Region, at maging dito rin po sa mga lalawigan ng Basilan, Sulu at Tawi-Tawi. Posible pa rin po ito magdulot ng flooding sa mga low-lying areas at malapit sa ilog at possible din ang pagguho ng lupa or landslide sa mga bulubundukin na lugar. For the rest of Mindanao, dito sa may Davao Region, Soc-Sargen, and rest of ARMM, asahan naman ang partly cloudy to cloudy skies, so magandang panahon ng mararanasan in general. Posible pa rin yung mga localized thunderstorms, lalo na sa hapon. Range of temperature natin for Cebu, 25 hanggang 31 degrees Celsius. Sa Tacloban at sa Iloilo hanggang 30 degrees tayo ngayong araw. Sa Cagayan de Oro, 24 hanggang 31 degrees. Habang sa Davao naman is 25 hanggang 33 degrees Celsius. At sa Zamboanga, 24 hanggang 32 degrees Celsius. Para naman po sa lagay ng ating karagatan, wala pa rin tayong gale warning. Malaya pa rin makapaglalayag ang ating mga kababayang mangingisda. Minsan nagiging maalon dito sa may Luzon at eastern part ng ating bansa. Para naman sa ating 3-day weather outlook, asahan sa Metro Manila, magandang panahon ang mararanasan hanggang sa matapos po ang weekend, that's araw ng Linggo. Meron din mga pulupulo, mga pagulan and thunderstorms silang mararanasan. Range of temperature natin is from 24 hanggang 33 degrees Celsius. Sa ating mga kababayan po sa Baguio City, magandang panahon din ang mararanasan. Maliit lamang ang tsansa ng mga pagulan at kung meron man po ito yung mga pag-ambon lamang. Range of temperature natin is 15 hanggang 26 degrees Celsius. Sa ating mga kababayan sa Legazpi City, magandang panahon din ang mararanasan in general. Bahagyang maulap hanggang sa maulap ang kalangitan at may tsansa ng mga pulupulong pagulan or localized thunderstorms. Range of temperature naman is from 25 hanggang 32 degrees Celsius. Sa atong mga kaigsuonan din sa Metro Cebu, magandang panahon na ang mararanasan simula bukas hanggang sa Linggo at possible na lamang yung mga localized thunderstorms lalo na sa hapon. Range of temperature naman natin is from 25 hanggang 32 degrees Celsius. Panghuli sa ating mga kababayan sa Metro Davao, patuloy ang magandang panahon hanggang sa araw ng Linggo at wala pa naman tayong inaasahang epekto na manggagaling dun sa paparating na tropical depression. Range of temperature naman natin is 25 hanggang 33 degrees Celsius. Si Haring Araw ay sumikat kaninang 5:57 ng umaga at lulubog naman ito 5:24 ng hapon mamaya. Patuloy po na magantabay sa ipapalabas sa updates sa Pag-asa. Mag-like lamang sa ating Twitter and Facebook pages, DOST_Pag-asa. Mag-subscribe din sa DOST-Pag-asa Weather Report ng ating YouTube channel at ang ating bagong .pagasa.dost.gov.ph para sa mas mahalaga pang impormasyon related po dun sa ating tropical depression at sa ating low pressure area. Yan muna ang latest mula dito sa Weather Forecasting Center ng DOST Pag-asa. Ako po si Benny Estareja na nagsasabing sa anumang panahon, Pag-asa ang magandang solusyon. Happy Thursday po.
DOSTv would like to thank Filipino Creazione de Mano Incorporated. Visit their showroom at ground floor lobby, PSM BFI Building, 318 Santolan Road, West Crame, San Juan City. SciDev, the world's leading source of reliable and authoritative news, views, and analysis on information about science and technology for global development. Visit their website at www.scidev.net.